Let's make this. Guys, we're live.
Are you really?
We're live.
Oh, Lord. Can you hear us?
I don't know.
How powerful is that thing?
I don't know. I've never touched this mic before in my life.
You might have to open the sound cavities and like 100 decibels.
Blah blah blah.
La 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 la.
Hello, what the fuck is this noise?
Wait, let's turn this off.
Can they even hear that?
Yeah, you should probably. Yeah. I'll listen to it.
Can anyone hear us if anybody's actually here? It'd be four more sheep. Oh right. Hold on.
No, man, no.
No.
Yeah. Give me the chocolate.
Vidyahaus.com. Is the sound all right? If anybody's here, we're making this happen. We're doing this.
You don't go to the thing where it shows you your viewers?
Oh no.
It's pretty cool.
You'll do it now, though.
I forgot. There we go. Wiggity 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 wiggity
Your
wap.
viewers.
Yeah, I got 3
I'm
people.
getting there.
Haha! Time for crippled girls.
Oh, and Caleb just finished. It's
Oh.
over.
He didn't finish.
It's over.
I think
We
kinda cut
just
him off.
won. We just won Vidya shorts.
I think that we actually kind of cut him short. What do we?
Oh god, Super doesn't know. He's about to know.
He's about to know. Go Byrne. Where you fuck amputees?
Are you on Byrne or are you on Vidyahaus?
I'm on Byrne. If it goes to Vidyahaus, it defaults to your image.
Oh yeah,
because
no, it's just fucking awful.
because you wouldn't fucking change it.
You can change it back now. Yeah, that's the class, yeah.
Audio.
So to the left.
Are we peachy on audio?
There's more characters. I've seen.
This is as far as it goes. This is the only image I got.
We good. All right. Chat lag is like nothing too. Goddamn. Everybody, Mike, say something.
Hello.
You're Peter, not Mike.
Oh, I thought you said everybody on the mic say something.
No. Well,
Oh, damn it.
All right, Mike, you say something hilarious. Sup?
So,
Sup? Cyan, say something hilarious.
So?
That was Cyan.
Might have to.
oh look, there's hello.
Hello. Yeah, that's some guy from
You still
HSG, probably. Kuma,
Yes.
say something loud.
Hello, people watching.
Can you hear Kuma?
Can you hear Kuma?
Can you hear me?
We might have to move everybody around depending on who's
Everybody can be shuffling.
Yeah,
depending on
honestly,
who's voice
I don't think
acting.
you can plug more than one headset.
I don't care.
Are we
Fuck you,
reading
guys.
the script or we're just making it up?
Oh no, we're reading it as it goes.
Right.
Alright.
Oh, Kuma, Kuma's amazing. Hello, Kuma.
And Kuma's chasing the cat.
Kuma's chasing the cat. You think that
Is this like a game or like
It's
a
a
video or
it's a
what?
visual novel.
Visual, okay.
All right, it's pictures and words, and you make choices, which we're all
So we're fucking cripples, is that what I heard?
basically. We're about to deep dicks and cripples.
Holy
It's
shit.
I told you it's the worst thing ever.
Oh my god.
Actually, yeah. What
Cripples are our options here.
We got an amputee of legs, amputee of arms. We got a burn scare victim. We have a blind girl. We have a mute deaf girl.
And then we have a pink-haired bitch.
Yeah.
I think that
Nobody knows.
okay. As
I
long
vote
as the
for legless
deaf
chick.
girl doesn't talk, that's probably the best option.
Yeah,
No,
that's
she
a good
has
point. We
Misha
have to
with
voice
her.
act less.
Well, we'll let the chat decide everything.
Alright.
It's gonna be great. Let's get this shit
Are you
started.
sure they can hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us. Don't forget Kenji. Does Kenji actually have a route? Because I keep seeing people say that he doesn't.
So we have to play women, guys, what?
We are
They're
man.
all women.
Well,
They're
That's
all
burn
women.
for
All right, you are the narrator.
Byrne,
So, what?
can I have something for your mini friend?
Yeah, go for it. There's water and Coke Zero. Take your pick. All right, Science. Since you're going to be talking the most,
If that person asked, it is time for the cripples.
It is. Cyan gets to sit down. Mike, you get to fuck up.
I am honored. I get to sit in the streaming chair.
Actually,
Cyan,
there's probably more chairs outside.
get classy. You're the
Thank you.
narrator.
Oh, dude, this motherfucker's
I'm
classy
ready.
as Shit. Go on. There's
Yes,
there's
I'm
gonna be
here.
2 chairs
Hello.
out in the garage if you want to go get those.
Garage.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, it's
Have you never seen
Katawa
a-
Shoujo.
Do you want to go get them, Rudy?
Outside?
We can just go more chairs. I can move over.
Good idea. I'll go fetch it.
Oh, we didn't actually go to MagFest today. We're gonna go tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
We did go to MagFest.
We
just
kind of
heard
went, then we
noise
just left.
And turned around about 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
What
Well, no, it's because, I don't know. Honestly, we just wanted to go to the Vidyahaus.
Pretty much.
And see the cat. Meow.
Yeah.
Alright,
That
Cyan.
fucking cat's an asshole.
I know he is. He's a douchebag. Alright, let's get this shit started.
Alright, you guys ready?
Let's rock! Start!
I'm not ready.
Shh, I am ready. My body is ready as a bitch.
My body isn't ready.
A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle
He
like
said
wooden
naked?
wind chimes.
Oh god, it's already perverted! I think I set it to space bar. You can press it if you want.
Okay.
If you want to do that, but you can click if you want.
This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah, yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking.
Wait. Are you the narrator and the main character?
Yeah. He's,
Okay.
okay.
As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind.
Lord.
I want to be her. Hisao, you came?
Oh, it came
A
everywhere.
hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly.
Dainty.
I felt my heart skip a beat.
Fuck.
It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race.
Not the manliest. Dude, this is the manliest game ever. Fuck you. Look at him.
Look at that skirt.
That's me right
They
there.
don't even look like legs. Like
Iwanako. Iwanako. You can say it.
I'm Hisao?
Yeah, you're Hisao. You're Iwanako.
Is Hisao the guy?
I got a
Hisao's
note
the guy.
telling me to wait here.
Oh.
It was yours.
Oh, okay.
Damn it!
I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic.
Yes. I asked a friend to give you... I'm glad you got it.
A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried.
It's Judge Judy.
Dubstep.
My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself.
No, dude, I'm Kenji. I can be everybody if you want.
So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music in my
Cacophonous?
ears. Whatever!
Iwanako flinches so softly against the gust of wind!
As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence.
Oh,
Her eyes
whatever.
lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger.
I don't have
All
dark
the
hair.
while, the anxious beating in my heart grows louder.
Fuck. He's about to die.
My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried.
Yeah, he's dead.
You see...
I'm the girl!
Fuck, whatever!
I wanted to know if you'd go out with me.
I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal
Super
cords feel like
freaking
they've been
out.
stretched beyond the breaking point.
Hisao?
I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms.
Hisao!
My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror.
Hisao! Snake!
The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees.
He's dead.
The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above.
What a bitch.
Kuma, you're the doctor.
Wait, what?
Oh, you want to be the doctor?
Am I the doctor?
You're the doctor.
You can be everybody.
I think
I don't want to be everybody.
Beep, beep, beep. I'm a
Or Leaf
motherfucking
Studio
Jeep.
presents
What happened? This girl just...
He had a heart attack.
Katawa Shoujo.
Apparently he's had a weak heart for like years, and
He
then.
was just so impressed by this girl. He had a heart
Dude, look
attack.
at how pretty this is. This is top quality fucking animation right
This
here.
is art.
Kuma, Cyan, Byrne, Rudy. There's Mike, and then there's Christian.
This guy.
Christian, yeah.
Christian. Who is
This
Cyan's
is a
friend?
Christian's name.
That's the worst joke ever.
What the hell are you eating? Is that food for you?
No, that's injections for you.
It's that pile of shit.
Christian Slater. Close.
That
That,
clump?
that's, excretion. His heart is a little bitch. Yeah, his heart is technically a little bitch. Yeah, Lunar Gaze! I wish Lunar Gaze was here to do all the females.
Yeah, seriously, you should have been here. No.
Oh, play it. Play it, I want to hear
Lord.
it. Yeah! I love it!
It's been 4 months since my heart attack.
Oh, it's
Immersion broken!
You gotta be kidding me. Bro.
It's been 4 months since my heart attack.
How to get you. We've already started.
And that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign, alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition, it causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Said that. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. What? I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all I got, well, gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis.
Callous.
Hanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again.
What is he doing?
The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So, I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books.
Mega Man.
I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands.
Naked! There's that word again!
But I loved the stories.
But I love being naked.
Stop being naked.
That was what my life was like.
So much nudity.
The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped in.
Oh!
God damn it.
I'm quick man.
A week ago without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I'd set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry.
What a bitch.
But that happened only rarely. And I
Never
couldn't
happens
even
to me.
cry.
No tears for this sad
Today,
boy.
the doctor comes in with this, gives me a smile. Huh. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party.
Where's the fucking party?
There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time, sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment.
Casual!
Is this me?
Yeah.
Hello, Hisao. How are you today?
I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him.
I believe you can go home. Your heart's stronger now. With some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. We'll give your father the prescription.
The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly.
So many.
I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this?
Wait for it. Wait for it. Erectile dysfunction is in here somewhere. Where is it?
Nightmares.
Diarrhea. No, I saw erectile dysfunction. Oh, I guess it's random every time. Whatever.
The absurdly long list of medication that... Yeah, there it is! The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane.
Madness.
Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosages are listed line after line with
Zelda
precision.
fucking found it.
I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. Is all this for the rest of my life every day?
You don't even know.
I'm afraid that it's the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the list fade over the years.
Years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I felt better if you hadn't said anything at all.
Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school.
What?
Queer.
Please calm down.
Please calm down, Hisao.
Listen to what the doctor
Doctor
has
has
to
to
say.
say!
He's the dad.
Calm down.
The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it.
My
Am I
father
going
is
to be
reproducing
homeschooled?
asexually.
Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored.
We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we share the medication soon. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer.
Shit's done. That list will be a bitch in no time.
It's a school called Yuuko Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students.
Disabled? What? Am I?
Yamaku.
What am I fighting for?
It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping health nearby.
Oh, super.
Independence. It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point.
Everybody good?
Where's Dad?
Dad.
Of course, that's only if you want to go. But your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it.
It looks like I really don't have a choice.
Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education.
This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamned opportunity.
Oh god, all these nasty words!
Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one,
A special school. That's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down.
it's not what you think. All of the students there.
That's Dad, bro.
Fuck you. It starts with D.
God damn it, guys.
So out of the way.
What?
Dad?
It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their
How
own
about everybody's
way.
dad? How about that?
It's geared towards students that can still get it out and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another.
Your father's right. And many of the graduates of the school have gone to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is graduating.
What's he even for?
I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue.
Yeah,
I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no.
Yes, it is, Peaches.
I don't say anything. The fact is that now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all
Turn
this.
the game down some.
The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. Byrne, I need my lines!
I need
Line.
to turn down the cripples.
Damn crap.
So we decided who's what cripple yet?
But let me
We'll
try.
find out when they pop up. When the cripples just pop out.
A clean state isn't a bad thing. Slate even. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like.
Could we Skype Zelda and have him be a cripple?
Sure.
I'm not sure how it will work, though.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
wouldn't
that'd be
work.
complicated.
Yeah.
We have plenty of people here.
Zelda, just come on down. We're in Virginia.
Oh, whoops. Skip that cutscene. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no.
Oh, how's the game sound now, since we have music playing?
Of course I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walk towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with its brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh-cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools.
What is that yellow thing in the middle? It might be a flag.
Yeah, they might be, maybe, it's just like, I don't know.
It's probably the deaf girl trying to jump.
It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and the green hues flushing all around can catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a common color. So why am I feeling so anxious, despite all this greenery? Ellipsis. Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture noticed me as I entered. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical.
Wait, who wants to be Mudo?
The tall man?
Yeah, you tall man.
You want to be the tall man, Mike?
You must be Nikki.
Nakai.
So you are excellent. I'm your homeroom science teacher. I do it all, bitch. My name is Muto.
Welcome to City 17.
We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch.
It's safer here.
Oh, okay, I changed my name. Now I'm... Alright. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now.
Oh, should I go later?
Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class.
Miss Muay Thai.
We're waiting already.
Can you guys hear Mike okay?
Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost missed what the teacher's saying.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
We have a
to
choice,
class?
one or two.
Oh, here we go, our first choice. Oh my god, I'm so excited!
I think you should do it.
I think you should do it.
Fuck them deaf
I like
girls.
it. I like it, yes.
Hi, deaf girl. I'm speaking to you.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, I mean, isn't that normal?
Of course, but not everyone likes to be at the center of attention.
I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself.
Right, but it's no problem.
You're the Hisao.
Thank you, Hisao.
Let's go then.
My heart is pounding my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom of class 333. Muto opens the door and enters.
That goddamn painting!
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again.
I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Ah, get a grip. This is a big step. I know that, but there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them, only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking to you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair, and that's... What the hell is that? Oh, god damn it. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone's looking at me, a girl with really long, straight hair that's pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible.
Look at the guy in the back!
I wasn't having a heart attack.
There was one boy with a cane.
It's Gabe!
It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is the cheer-looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in.
Please welcome our newest classmate.
He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for his applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now.
Encore!
So, I'm Hisao Nakai. And after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting.
I'm Hisao Nakai.
I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. Could have gone worse. Ellipsis. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against the other wrist that ends in a bandaged thumb. It makes me feel a little bad.
so offensive.
We're going to do some group... Oh, shit!
We're going to be doing some group work today, so that I'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
That's good. You can work with... How the fuck do you say that, Asian?
Hakamichi!
Hakamichi. She is the class representative.
Oh, class rep!
She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right?
Who wants me to do that?
How could I know?
I'll be Shizune.
The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher
Apparently,
seems to catch my helpless
Hey,
expression.
what's that meant?
Oh, right. Oh, what?
That's right. All right, Hakamashi is right there. Shizune Hakamashi. Shizune, the fucking drill
Lord.
hair.
As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window.
Work with Hakamachi and Gavin.
Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter.
It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi, I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi, see-chan.
Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She was short. She has short, carefully and neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you.
Dot.
That looks like a smiley face.
She immediately looks
Sign.
at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Michi nods and makes a few gestures for her. I'm starting to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, "You'll be able to talk to people." And who better to explain things to you? What a dick.
I gave you a Jeff
I can see you're a little confused, eh? Right? But I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for him. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. ... You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up for no reason, right? Right. He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon, Hi-chan, right?
Hi-chan?
Yeah, it fits, doesn't it?
Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how.
It fits. You look just like I imagined.
She's deaf and mute, Roshi.
Oh, wow. Yeah, seriously, dude.
My bad. My bad,
You
dude.
look just like a Hi-chan.
You look just like a Hi-chan.
I wonder why everyone seems to think so. ...
How
Michi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands
What the fuck are my
uplifted.
hands doing?
Misha seems a little overwhelmed.
Sorry about that.
What's up, Walter?
Shi-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's
I mean,
anything
Drake.
you need to know, feel free to ask her. ...
Swag.
School so fun? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself
What
with
the
it.
fuck? Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kinda came straight to class today.
I got a bag.
Oh, my bad. What?
Oh, shit. ...
God damn.
That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school either. Always.
I think Misha might be retarded.
Even if you haven't been clean
Or is
before.
that just Rudy?
Really, Shi-chan?
Learn about where you're going? I guess they didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so.
Hold on, Kale. It's me, Rudy, Cyan, Kuma, and like 2 other dudes.
They know I'm Euro on
I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly.
$10.
But anyway, I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me.
No, we're all in the same room.
I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but the shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply.
You look down. Are you okay?
Jesus, that has got to be one of the gayest things I've ever heard.
I am waiting.
Oh!
Okay.
Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things. By asking.
Eyes are until day after everything.
Because she's
Asking
kawaii!
It's perfectly normal. As much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test.
Oh my god. Alright.
Okay. That's better.
Getting a little
...
And another thing, you don't have to call Shi-chan something so forward like Michi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan.
No. ...
Okay, maybe not that. Maybe that's too casual.
Wait,
Maybe
Casuals!
Would it matter since she can't hear, or does she?
She doesn't give a fuck.
Yep, Shizune is fine.
Yeah, okay. That would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at
Drill
ease.
hair.
Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier, especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, just less so, I guess.
We're all voicing the trap. ... Exclamation point! Foot dive!
Alright! We haven't even touched the assignment! We should start right now,
undefeated.
or Shi-chan will get mad.
The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class.
That too.
Gravity squeeze!
Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay,
Gravity
okay,
squeeze.
I get the message.
After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay?
Cyan is voice acting Hisao, but you are the main character.
These
Hisao.
Simon is
Mine's
actually
not.
very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being
deep
both
South
difficult and
accent.
unnecessarily long.
Can't do accents.
Doesn't matter, try it anyway.
Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're
I'll
quite
try,
different,
Dolphin.
though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha's a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted.
They want you to do
To
it.
be honest, the
Yeah,
two
let's
of them
try.
did most of
I
the
can't do
work.
accents, though.
I feel guilty about that. The clock tower
I
bells
gotta
ring,
I can
signaling the
try.
end of the period. Time for lunch.
I'll try.
Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who's beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs.
Who's voicing the painting?
I'm voicing the painting.
We
I am
descend
right now.
even below the lobby where I met Mutao and down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate.
Well, here's the cafeteria.
I like that more.
Her
People
enthusiastic
laugh like
statement
that.
of the obvious
Whoa.
makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital and eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I picked something at random and followed Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in from the side to get my attention and points to Shizune.
End quote.
I don't understand sign, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite.
Do you want to know something? Ah, fuck that.
What?
That wasn't something at all.
It wasn't Southern at all.
About anything, I reckon. There's something.
Well, there is something,
I
partner.
wonder.
Oh,
1,
wait.
2, or 3?
I think I have everything I need to know. Ask about the library or ask about Shizune's deafness.
No, that's rude.
I vote 1.
Shh, I vote 3.
I go 1.
Alright, we got 1 vote for 2.
No, fuck the library.
2
Oh,
votes
God.
for 2.
You guys going Hanako out.
3.
Oh man, we gotta count this.
I think 3 is
3,
winning by
1.
1. Okay, no, 3. Everybody's looking
Oh,
3. Let's do it.
over.
Let's make this happen.
Oh, man.
Use that little.
Shizune intrigues me, and I kinda wanna ask something about her. For the space bar. There it is. I can't really ask about something that personal, can I?
Too bad you're going to.
I can't come up with anything else to ask, so I just focus on my food while the
Why are
girls
you
talk
deaf,
between themselves.
pussy?
Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they are talking about secret girl stuff or something. Ellipsis. I quickly notice a conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence.
Nope. Did you not ask a goddamn thing?
We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first.
What's this bitch?
That dark-haired girl that I noticed before is slumped over her desk in the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino.
Howdy.
Deeper into her
Rhino.
seat,
Elegant.
I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally, the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I started yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me feel like this. Maybe I'm feeling physically weak and lifeless.
Aw, what a bitch.
Before long, the final bell rings.
Ken Pon.
School's finally over for the day.
The final
Inside me,
countdown.
Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me.
Quote. End quote.
Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, John. We've gotta hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do.
Partner. Quote. End quote.
Just follow you around here, I reckon.
Oh wait, the teacher said I had to see the nurse. Where do I have to go?
Is that so? We can at least show you that much.
Hee sexual
The
innuendo.
nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside.
Should we stop by Lunar Gates' place on the way back and hang out with him?
Nah, fuck him.
Fuck you, Lunar Gaze!
We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school.
When you're mute, no one can hear you scream.
It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building.
The monks there. Dot, dot, dot. This
be the auxiliary building here, yeah.
Going through puberty or something.
There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamako Foundation office, and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool.
A swimming pool? How is that official?
what?
Don't be silly, John. It's physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too.
Sound like Frank.
And nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from there, right? We'll be going. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education. I guess it's necessary for a place like this.
Fuck education!
I walk in, hoping that this really will only be a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text, head nurse, and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further.
You want to be the nurse?
Yeah,
You? Yeah!
But the nurse is a man.
So?
Oh, it's gay, never mind.
Oh.
The room is not large and smells
I told you
strange.
to
A
do it.
friendly-looking man turns around in his
Yeah,
office chair to
working
face me as I enter.
Yeah, do that then.
His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk.
Wait, who's the nurse? Who is it?
What can I do for you today?
I love it! I love it!
He is young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who's heard this very same question hundreds of times.
Why, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name, or just the nurse like everyone else.
Of course. I shake off my confusion, realizing I should probably grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes light up with revelation, and he snaps his fingers.
Oh, you're that Nakai. How does reading you or file coordinating? Some kind of chronic either edema or related digital heart muscle deficiency, right?
He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yeah.
Good. Well, you probably have been briefed about the school, so I'll just go over this quickly. With all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such, there's always someone from us around, even at night. So ever hesitate to call us if there's a problem.
The famous 24-hour nurses. Wow, this is like a hospital.
Well, not exactly. We don't do brains here.
His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just like it's really weird there's so many medical people in school.
You'll get used to it.
I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it.
Now, let me just find your file again.
While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminate flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters hanging on all four walls remind me to eat properly, 3 times a day and from all the food groups.
So insensitive.
Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly
There's no
thick
actual
files and
gameplay,
opens
Roshi. We just sit here and read the hilarious text and...
So, you already have the medication for the arrhythmia? Just remember to take your pills every morning and even it, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like that? I don't know boxing.
He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Oh well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates.
Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that. At least from time being.
Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him permitting me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do.
Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart and risk another heart attack. It's not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of that causing a fever.
No, not exactly. I sidestepped the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face.
Well, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise will do you some good. Yeah, physical therapy and such a bill, as I said, I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks, or even light jogging, jump roping, that sort of swimming, maybe.
What the fuck? So I was told.
You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care not to overwhelm yourself.
He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already.
Absolutely not unnecessary risk. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
That was easy.
He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content.
Good. That's it. Then come to me if you ever need something.
I'm ushered out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes, they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they are going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. But then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us?
You are mutants.
Ellipse.
Dot.
I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The wariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, settle a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and an overbearing smell of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm outside is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119.
Oh, this is the best part.
Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. It seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet and a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates in the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. A bespectacled boy standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses.
Who is it?
Blind? Nah, not at least completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic.
Pizza.
Hisao and Nakai, I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce my...
You're a cripple, Harry.
His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, although straight to my diaphragm.
Ow. Sup, dude? Name's Kenji.
Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome.
Yeah, there was some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier.
It was probably my parents.
Oh, your parents, you sure? Because they could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover.
His out-of-place proverbs left hanging between us awkwardly, as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures.
You're a brave man, Hisao. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself.
Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while.
A wise decision. Damn, you're smarter than you look. Probably. Well, what do you look like? I hope not smart.
He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it.
Never mind, it doesn't matter.
With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key in and lock the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains.
Dodge that eye attack.
It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning.
Yep.
The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts.
I'm gonna read it. Hi, Hichan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad.
Of course they love you.
Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have, and there would have been something to do.
If you're reading this note, then that means you're strong enough to lift the fridge. Now be a good boy and put the fridge down and go to sleep.
It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down in the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand
What's
up.
the name of this site?
Videoshorts.com/SS.
What a bad person. You don't tell all your friends about video shorts.
Type it in here.
Maybe it's stress or
My
something.
girlfriend will watch it.
I was pretty nervous about it before coming and for the entire day today too.
type
Still am, I think. Damn, I hate having to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Sorry. Tomorrow, I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do
Where's the
that.
slash?
But for now... A bottle of medications neatly arranged on the night table catch my eye.
Oh lord, what
I pick one up and shake
Sorry,
it
I
to hear the
sent a message
contents
up to you.
rattle inside,
just use
and then
slash
read the
SS
glued-on
at the
pharmacy
end.
label. Hisao Nakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted, having your life depend on
Hey,
chemicals
turn
like
the
this.
PS3 off.
I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a
If you would be
sigh,
so
I
kind,
begin
sir.
my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. Ellipsis. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time.
Yeah, Max.
It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after the darkness falls and long shadows
Yeah, I
grow
think we're
across
gonna keep
my
it
room
live
like
right now, so
fingers.
it's video once automatically.
The sheets fall slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. Night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew.
Oh, get the TV. It should be the top button on the. There you go. Welcome to the Twilight Zone!
There's a trap.
What?
There's a trap.
There's all traps on me.
Yeah. Everyone's a trap in this game.
I wake up in a strange room.
They're careful because you all have faces.
Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I'd forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call
It's warm in the
mine.
rooms, man.
Various things around here remind me that, indeed, it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating, until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back.
Yes, it is Johnny Hills, yeah!
Putting
I'm
on
gonna
a
read.
new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes.
So far, I'm just Kenji.
The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school, except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one.
Be careful, that might echo.
All through class, the question remains in my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups.
Oh, shit.
After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her.
Let the cat go.
Dot, dot, dot.
Coming back.
Dot, 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 dot.
She crosses
I'm
her
talking
arms and
to
shifts her
Hisao.
gaze slowly to Misha. She looks more preoccupied as trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down to the top as perfect and evenly flat.
Dot, dot, dot.
Sorry, Shi-chan. Is this something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Shi-chan.
My first thought is as that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative? Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right.
Dot, 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 dot,
Oh,
dot.
that's right. Everyone is encouraged to go to club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever.
Whatever.
So,
Oh my
you
god.
actually transferred into a busy time. Maybe you can help out too.
Sure. What's the festival about?
Dicks!
Misha freezes.
No, He-chan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so...
She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy.
Huh? Oh! Who cares?
Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud.
Dot, dot, dot.
Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind the festival will inevitably change with time. Now it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes.
The teacher clears her throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and
Yeah!
quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though brushing it off without a care.
Duh.
We are in the middle of class and just start working. That's right, Shi-chan. What? That's right. Shi-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club?
It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance.
A suspicious clam!
Misha's tone has also
Clam in
changed,
your eyeball.
although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with the long, dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working out in group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark hair.
Did you just leave?
She's a ghost.
What?
Why doesn't he say anything?
She's a ghost!
Shi-chan, is something wrong?
Partner.
Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, looking after the girl who left?
Or maybe your heart's failing.
No, nothing.
Dot, 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 dot. Smirk.
Okay, well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you?
I have no control here, Black Hat. I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really.
Do you want to have lunch together then?
Do you want to go get lunch?
Sure!
Fire?
Dot, dot, dot.
Hey, let's go be Byrne victims.
The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never comes
Like
back.
your suspicious clam.
Before I had the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informed us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than just a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all our work on time.
Unacceptable.
I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything.
Dot, 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 dot.
Yes, it is, Shi-chan.
Partner.
Impossible!
Impossible.
Really?
Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha's always moving her hands and sighing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and mine. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing. But really? Shizune can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? Nah, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing. We'll take some time to get used to.
These are the moral choices that we make every day in the school.
It's not a contest because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize in the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me. Why am I doing this? As if surprised and I'm challenging her. I think maybe it's a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. ...
gaze.
Are you sure, Hichan?
Very sure.
Sugoi.
Well, isn't that cute? But you're wrong!
I get that joke.
Because I watched that show. Because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore,
The lunar gaze.
is my confidence in my abilities and the price of satisfaction of
Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way.
They're fucking in a storm now, dude.
There's a cat at me. Oh god, the cat!
Oh god, the painting.
I had almost forgotten I was supposed to have lunch with them.
I'd almost forgotten I was the painting in the hallway. ...
Buddy.
lunch.
What do you want to eat?
The cafeteria?
I want to eat the cafeteria.
Yeah, that's so plain. Okay, let's go.
Playing? Well, I guess. At my old school, I teed outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much.
Burger poo.
Shizune and Misha pulls me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classroom or outdoors.
Oh, maybe they're too crippled to get around to the cafeteria.
After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier.
Hanako, is the food too hot? So, hey, Sean, you want to know about the clubs and stuff, eh? Right?
Hey, what?
Quay. What?
Right, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it makes sense.
That's first. Sorry. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they start to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech.
Cookies, this shit is hilarious.
Hey, Sean, do you have anything you're really interested in?
Murder.
I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the team, the players, or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot.
Alright.
There is a book club, eh, Chichan? Hey, but it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Chichan, it's a really popular club.
Really popular club, you guys.
Okay.
Well, the point, Hichan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in
mind? Ah, we're the same person.
Not really.
What? Really? That's a perfect opportunity.
Great, that's great, Chichan. You're like great.
Why is it so great?
Fuck you. Well, Hichan, on the club's upcoming festival, there's one other thing. Student council!
Oh my god!
I see. I didn't know the school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that.
Council!
I'm pretty sure the two of them know this. Shizune looks a little embarrassed now. Misha's laughing. Shizune quickly retains control of the discussion, in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice what she says. ...
student council.
Right, Hichan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more motorcycles. Yes, definitely, you should definitely join.
Why?
Fuck you! Actually, she charges the first thing.
Damn right!
I'm starting to get suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with.
Council!
As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha.
But the barrel!
Of course we're not trying to get you to join us because we will obviously benefit from joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you.
Shut up!
So you're admitting that...
No, you mean nothing. I mean, Hichan, of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council all shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true. Hichan, besides, don't you want to spend time with that school, Hichan?
I can't tell if she's being generous, it's just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they are already pretty cute to begin with.
Bitch.
Well...
Well, some water.
So it's settled then. Welcome to student council, Hichan!
What? No! No!
I see, Hichan. Of course, it wouldn't go so easily. Yeah, that's right. It'll be more boring if it went smoothly. Oh well, Hichan has the candy now.
You were betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game here.
That's a visual novel.
Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha slides it to her. Aggressive clench turns to her eyes.
That's interesting, Hichan.
That's not what I said.
How about it?
You made deaf girl noises.
No, absolutely not.
That's too funny.
Well, because you two both have the same incentive, and therefore the same goal, which is getting me to join the student council, right?
Fuck you!
Yeah, that is my goal. What means that both of you can team up, and it'll be a clear disadvantage. So, I'll have to decline.
Son, I'm very offended. You're saying you don't trust us, and that proposal, so this fuck you.
Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shirune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin.
In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely go into student council.
No!
I'm smoking bacon, Dr. Cookies.
How about a game of pit football? So, which man will win?
For football.
Yeah, it's a game they play in America.
America.
You make a paper triangle, then you try to shoot it past the goalpost, and the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition.
The ultimate form of manliness.
John.
Manliness.
And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Chi-chan. That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men.
Wait, how old are these kids?
These dudes are like 12. These are clearly 12-year-olds.
Excellent. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not gonna play that either. Just the fact you know what it means, you're probably surprisingly good at it.
yeah, that's true. How'd you know him, John?
Shizune frowned at Misha.
I gotta pee!
That she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy their attempts to get me in the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anyone who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, John, how about this? The game of world domination.
I don't know what that is.
World domination. It's really fun here, John. You fight for control of the world, armies, and everything.
Sounds like Shizune would be good at it.
Play. Head to school. Really, Shin-chan. Play this for fun, Shin-chan. Shin-chan, Hisao, Shin-chan, Shin-chan. Fuck you guys.
Well, okay.
Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council and then Shin-chan.
Wait, why there?
Excuse me.
Because
what?
Game.
I grimace to tell them how much I did not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends, and we go back to class.
Fuck yeah, class. It's a ghost!
During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy.
I don't want to be a ghost hunter.
After school,
go
Shizune
away.
and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're in their guard. What's with the escort? That doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell.
What's wrong with you, Sean?
Yeah.
That's right. We just going to play a game of this.
With.
Now, I don't know,
Well.
Misha, this all seems a little sinister to me. I started thinking that when you sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me. So I agreed to join the student council.
No.
Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible.
I'm gonna put my hair into your flesh.
Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seems a little silly. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's not true, Ichan. Ichan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman burst speed.
Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging. Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hand behind her back, looking pleased with herself.
Once I saved South Korea.
Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's very plain, a sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even larger than a classroom.
Yeah.
There's a big table in the center, surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs attached to one side, as well as extras, perhaps. Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here, or something. But the most useful thing that this room doesn't have is other people.
It has ghosts!
Are we early?
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically.
Foot dive!
John, let's play this. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? I can explain to you
With
while
your
we set
clothes off.
everything up.
While Misha's talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it
Foot
on the
dive!
table.
Paddle you.
Actually, it looks kind of interesting.
Face me!
After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion,
Deaf bitch never
slicing
shut
her arm through the air.
Gonna get raped.
Suzune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to when I agreed to this.
You have no hope!
Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention.
I am so top tier!
Hey, John wants you to know that you are taking too long to make a move. She also says she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council.
I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle it over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no.
John admires your fighting spirit and be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council.
Just like Dr. Doom!
Duh.
The Dare will
So
take over the world!
Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous.
A magnum?
She doesn't seem to know what a word means or how it's signed. So she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples, as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory.
I got this!
Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated silence.
I don't got this! Oh, well, Shin-chan says you're going to lose.
You have no hope!
Crush her world empire with my rebellion.
Okay.
Okay.
Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief.
She says you have
Face
no chance
me!
if you keep playing like this, no.
Alright, here we go.
One or two.
Here we go. It's a trap!
It's Misha to play defensively here. She has a point.
Attack aggressively. Two.
One.
Two. No, what are you doing?
1, 2.
Who cares
Buckle
about
my
that?
shoe. 3, 4. You're a whore!
Oh, whatever.
What?
It's likely it's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense set up, and I'm going to direct it to doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyway.
You are defeated!
Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist. Tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration.
John, you lost me. You allowed me to take North America. I mean, John, not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides 5 army bonus, but you can attack it from front, so you must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, Hichan. Your play needs to be more daring. Ambition.
Yeah.
I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Hichan. You didn't take enough risks, and then you did, and you didn't follow through. That's terrible.
Terrible.
Damn, what's it to her if I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face.
In your face!
In your face, nigga! You bitch!
In your face, bitch! I wonder if you didn't be good enough.
For the student council.
What's this? Reverse psychology?
Psycho.
I guess I don't have to worry about joining it or not in that case.
Oh, no, wait a
It's
second.
getting bigger. Ego keeps growing. Giving up like that, I expected more of you.
Seriously, is Shizune trying to taunt me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at the other club sites, and these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide.
At the club. Really, John? You're not just saying that to make us feel better?
Yeah, I'm just not sure that I want to.
Aww. Kawaii. Okay, John, but we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you come around.
So fucking
Hey, really
dumb.
have fun. We can play more Risk and maybe one day you can beat me.
One day.
Just beat me, right now.
That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know.
Surely you're not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game you know them to give you a handicap.
I might have said that just to make you feel better after
Get it?
all.
A handicap?
God damn
Well,
it.
Tulare, there's a free app for Pandora, so I don't think
Oh, that's cold, Hichan.
it would
I
be
take a
terribly
glance at the
illegal.
clock on the wall and realized I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall.
And then
I can't read time. I'm
it
deaf.
should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Hichan.
Do these two bitches stay around forever?
We think the library is open. And it's on the second floor. You can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it be?
No thanks. It's okay.
They don't
See
think
you
it'd be
tomorrow.
that way. What did
Yeah.
you? Yar. Oh God, that
One
painting.
flight of stairs up and I run into problems.
Hi.
The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course. And plain,
Really?
like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think.
One of you guys has to play a half Japanese, half Scottish chick.
Does anyone know a Scottish accent?
Wait, can I be
I'll try it.
I want to be Sean Connery for one of the voices.
The classrooms are marked with
I
signs
can be a
starting
kid.
which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked
I'll be
rooms.
somebody.
Is the library one of them? Is it just somewhere down the
Do it
hallway?
actually for Lily.
I bet on the ladder and choose my direction at random.
Whenever it comes.
After I turn around the corner,
Oh, I
an
wouldn't-
unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed.
Can you do that?
It's not open either, though. Just barely
I'll be
ajar
Scottish.
so that I
I'll
can
be
see it's
Scottish.
open and nothing else.
Alright.
It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that,
Turns out you are the librarian.
at the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider at school can't be shaken from my mind, so much that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from deep sleep, though it's much easier to open than I had anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head ever further inside to get inside the room as fast as possible, the meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away.
Gotcha.
Oh God, my waifu.
Dot.
This is not as I was expecting. I'm honestly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room.
Oh, Hisao stole her side.
The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes. but she
Ass
doesn't
is
look
the
at me.
situation.
She uses her ass to know what's going on.
Why, hello there. May I help you today?
What? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft,
That's fine.
it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's doing a separate from herself. No. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes is as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand.
Would you care to take a seat, laddie?
I would.
Unexpected. Consider that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly touch towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on a wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness in her eyes means she must at least be partially blind, like Kenji.
I cannot see a thing!
Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely uncomfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office.
I think you're a new student to Yamaki.
Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting, one which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action.
I'm Lily Sato, pleased to meet ya.
Hisao.
Would you like some haggis?
Down a Kai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup.
Would you care for some mead?
Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the
Backflip for a
shelf.
flaming hoop.
Get your
I'll brush here. I'll
Great
brush
half
there.
Japanese
Her left
accent.
hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup.
I'm mixing a bottle of absinthe, a liter of Jack Daniels, and a liter of Shantari's own semen.
It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer of preparing the drink.
So,
Her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance.
which room are you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after the school.
The school library. Shizune and me, I mean some classmates, told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water in the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's being stirred.
I hope you like Jack Daniels and semen. Wait a minute, Hakamachi. As are most students, to be with them means you're in class 33, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. I'm in the science room with Mutao. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand.
He's quite a character. I'd imagine you'll come to like him. Must do.
As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up.
You're not taking to my semen lightly. You'll drink it and be happy.
Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice.
right where she can't see shit.
I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Takao. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly raises her hand in front of her face.
Lily, please, there is no need to be too formal.
She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes.
Correct, I'm in class 32, which is on the 3rd floor, same as you. It's taught by Miyagi and is specifically for both blind and partially haggis students. We're all
see.
goats.
And I mean, sorry. I feel like slapping myself in a faux pas.
Oh,
Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it.
Mama, there is no need to change your speech and mine.
Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here.
You're a newbie. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their haggis.
Oh my god. A category which would come to include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another.
Segway!
That's how you spell segue? What the fuck? Whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was
Come here
weird,
to drink tea often. It's a really nice place.
Semen.
Thinking on it, this might be the version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at.
I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for official club. So a friend and I use this room for having semen.
Sex.
Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof.
The bitch smokes weed!
Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join?
The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during haggis time. The baseball club, and the book club in the room near the library.
There are also...
I'm Lily! There are also numerous small ones, though, such as the haggis and music club.
At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club?
It isn't, though. It is encouraged to enjoy the haggis and the semen.
Oh, good. That's a relief. I really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out.
Semen!
That seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking as Lily does the same.
Why don't you drink in a Q's? We
As
got
I look
more
over
than
the window over her
teas.
shoulder,
They have an alphabet.
I notice the light coming into the room as a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh, the time's done quickly.
I'm blind!
Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun started to set. It seems to come as a surprise to her. I guess she must have lost track of the time.
Sorry, Hisao. Didn't mean to keep you from the haggis so long.
I quickly moved to allay her concern. Oh no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think of it. It's probably something I should ask Shizune when I have the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case.
True, it's open until 6:30 during the weekdays.
A quick glance at my watch. It turns out I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod. Her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my haggis. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the haggis is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more. Alright. Well, once I navigate, those skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing.
It's okay, I was going to be talking to the haggis librarian there in any case. I could introduce you.
This gets better. It's getting hard to deny her offer. If you're
Seaman
sure,
and haggis.
If you're sure, that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane that the boy in my class had, Liz looks much thinner and longer. This must be for support, whereas Liz is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers, we slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you.
She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we follow in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with a distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old war air. Old world! There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms.
Yuuko, are you here?
She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present.
We got one more for haggis.
I haven't slept in 36 hours. What's unexpected is that it draws... Oh, yeah, what draws reaction, yes. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention.
Hi, Lily, how can I help you?
Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual.
Casuals! Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard some strange haggis.
It's nothing, I just hit my head. So I dropped my eraser under the desk while I was looking for a pencil. Dropped in when I was looking for both of them. You came and surprised me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't have known you weren't cooking the haggis.
It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. There's nothing. I've had worse happen to me.
Worse haggis than this? Oh my goodness.
She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost finally trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter.
Yes, worse things have happened.
The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason.
No reason!
A little shorter than Lily, replete Okay, I'm reading correctly.
Replat!
Freckles with a very troubled...
Whatever words you don't know, just replace it with haggis.
That's fair enough.
Hi, Lily! Did you get my message?
Your voice has changed so suddenly. Oh, yes, that's right. You have a split personality. Much like myself.
Right. They finally came. I believe it took so long. What?
Amidst her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure, she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes to the spot when she does.
Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Do you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry, sir.
The way she can so quickly shift between moods is really unsettling.
He's with me, Yuuko. This is Hisao. He's a new student. Hisao, this is Yuuko, the school haggis librarian. She cooks the haggis.
Pleased to meet you.
I'm laughing too hard.
It's alright, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao.
For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name in her mind so she won't forget.
So irritated with me.
Yuuko often arranges the haggis in braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the haggis you serve here?
Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror.
That's a full night's sleep, boy. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility.
It's a haggis, woman!
Any responsibility at all, I don't get. But her objection is so insincere, I don't doubt for a second she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are.
Where the haggis is. But
so there are a lot of books in Braille here?
A lot of haggis.
I attempt to stand the tick by asking the first thing that buzzes in my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuuko seems to, not exactly relax, but at least looks slightly like...
There's a dog in the room.
Well, I think about a third or a fourth of... What is that?
Yamako's
library is either in the... What is it? I can't read it.
Braille or blind
Braille?
speech.
Makes
The
sense,
gruel.
given all
Where's
the
the
blind
gruel?
students to be here. If it's only that, how come the library is so big in the first place?
Well, I do get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately
Endowed.
They spend more on new books than on the salary and this fucking dog.
What's the fucking dog?
It's so troublesome and they weigh so much my fucking hands can't handle it.
What?
A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us. She doesn't
Talking
keep
about the
talking.
haggis from now on.
don't want this dog.
The dog's too heavy to throw around with such many people. The dog doesn't have enough haggis. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuuko, I would like the haggis if it's all right with you. Haggis.
My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big.
The haggis
Ambling
is
down the narrow
surprisingly
aisles,
fresh.
I studied the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good.
Who's next taken news?
In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of haggis.
Dicks.
Who's Hanako?
I guess I'll never be stuck for choice.
Who are the Christian or Kuma?
I think it has to.
What is Hanako?
Burned.
Oh, it's Frenchie.
I'll take it. Why?
The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large printed braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is. The library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lily and snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before.
Haggis.
I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting in one of the several beanbags.
Haggis.
It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face so it makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance in the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue flows slowly but surely towards the surface. Before I know, I'm walking towards a mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, you can see the part of her face, at least a third if not half, is pretty badly scarred.
It's pretty badly haggis.
My eyes are immediately joined to the scars, subconsciously beating past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I'm shocked and put my eyes to the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It also takes many seconds to play myself from when I walked up to her for.
Do we want to knock
One or two.
What are we gonna do, you guys?
Introduce ourselves.
What are we gonna do?
Kuma needs voice acting.
Damn it, no! We needed everybody to choose!
Hi, I'm new here. Hisao and Akai. We're in the same class.
Everybody wanted one.
Yeah, too bad.
Oh my god!
You messed up big time, Cyan.
I don't care. I just got transferred here the other day. Maybe you don't remember. I did a self-introduction to
Merchant Ruin! Dilly and Cyan off friend list.
The girl still doesn't say a word.
It's
Simply
over,
stares
study's
at me.
finished.
Why
The
not?
voices are there.
I'm still getting used to the place, so I'm trying to meet as many people as I can. So, what's your name?
Hanako.
I guess.
Her speech is stuttering. It's so quiet that it's barely audible, even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako, eh? So what are you reading? She gently tips the book back for her so that I can read the title, at the same time hiding her face behind it. She must have noticed me staring before. Life of Pi? I've never heard of it before. What's it about?
Cake.
A boy and a tiger. On a boat.
I'm on a boat! I'm on a boat!
I can see this taking some time. Sounds interesting. Is it any good? She nods from behind the book, but stays silent. She looked kind of tense, a bit like Yuuko earlier, but in a different way. More like petrified with terror, I'd
Fist
say.
bump the cat.
So the mystery delinquent
Big
girl turned out to be
pimpin'.
anything but, and she's quivering in a way that makes it seem like
She's a bomb!
The only way out of this, as far as I can tell, is to try to get a normal conversation going. Is it a library book? I'm looking for new ones to read, but there's just so many.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a...
No, it's mine.
So do you come here often? A huge blush spreads on Hanaka's face, and her eyes widen far larger than I thought it was possible for eyes to do so.
Anime!
Uh-oh. Did she interpret my lame attempt at small talk as a feeble attempt to pick her up?
With haggis!
I mean, I didn't mean it like that.
I,
It needs more emotion.
Aye,
Captain!
I've got to.
I'm gonna go do something! I'm gonna haggis!
Warning. Hanako takes off and starts running towards the counter. Oh fuck. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuuko are happily chatting away.
About that haggis!
Now that I won't be able to catch Naka myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you notice a girl run past here?
Maybe what's a shoe like?
Long, dark hair. Kind of shy. She had some scars on her face.
You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you?
Hanako. Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something.
Oh, the dear that you offer her haggis!
Just shut her and just hold on.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, wait, that's me. I'm sorry, but I have to go explain it to you another time.
Right, I'll see you later then.
I'll take this haggis and track her down.
Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong?
What did you do?
Nothing! I just talked to her, tried to get to know her, didn't even manage to get started. Yuuko sighs and looks up. Even more
You
so.
didn't use the haggis, boy.
I guess you weren't wrong so much as testicles.
Testicles.
That girl is a bit of a special case. It's like she never really talks to anyone.
Isn't that a bit strange?
Doctor Strange.
I wonder it's just how she is, I think.
Yuuko didn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here.
That terrible
Perhaps
haggis
I was being a
accident.
little tactless after all. But how should I deal with these people? Force myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists.
Sounds like old Crispy is a bit of a freak. What? It's an elephant if you want it to be.
I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile as she blushes heavily.
Oh, that was perfect.
What? Did you not want to have sex?
No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us had anything to add, so Yuuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desks really like doing that.
Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore.
Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them.
I want some books, motherfucker!
I'll just go get them. I fetch my stack of books from beside the beanbag.
I fetch my stack of haggis!
Apparently the books are located in my vagina.
Haggis!
I surprised myself with that too, honestly. That's when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time.
Started eating haggis to fill the void in my mind.
Where's the haggis?
He doesn't say anything else. He just checks out my books for me. I guess that's what they call
haggis! Oh, me again. Yeah, I'm so happy.
Holding the library books with an arm, I show out my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock.
Who is it?
I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glancing off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously.
Yeah, it was me. I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again?
His voice is suddenly strained and clicked. Yes, but we've met before. Yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think so. I remember someone who I met only yesterday. When was that? What day is today?
I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what?
Prove that we've met before.
You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji turns back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear.
How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one of two things. Either we've met, and you're telling the truth, or I just can't remember it and you're a spy.
He pauses.
A psychic spy.
His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room. Although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses.
Is there haggis in here?
His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic.
Yeah, how do I know that? Yeah, I'm not a mind reader.
Kenji points a finger in my face damningly.
Unlike you.
Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room.
Lies. If you think you can pass this Hisao because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance. But who do you think you're kidding?
I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh.
Yeah, stay here.
Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still, lest his assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage, even if he did.
Oh, wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you.
Sighing again, and then once again for good measure, I step backwards, just in case.
Yeah, what's up, man? You don't look too good. I think, something wrong?
I don't know, just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually, even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on other people around here, and I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm talking to this. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. Yeah, it's a real hard reality we live in.
I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us.
Yeah, you see, this is how this is, this world. There's no justice, you see. Even when I lose, I win, because I don't lose the lesson.
What does that even mean?
It doesn't matter.
He just has it flatly with a wave in his hand.
Yeah, so what happened? Why the long face? Did you have a long face?
It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally, too. She actually ran away from me. It wasn't my fault, really, I think. I'm not really used to all this yet.
Girl? Cute one?
Cute? That's a hard question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair. But the face... I guess it could go either way. One or two.
Was she kawaii?
Am I kawaii?
What? Oh, I scrolled.
Oh, he went back. Okay. Two. She was
That's
kawaii.
like 20 for 2. Yeah, cute, I guess.
I knew it! There are a lot of cute girls here. A strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of this school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen?
I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets.
Yes, dark secrets. Extremely dark, like a black hole. Have you ever noticed that the number of girls in this school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40.
He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing.
Yeah, why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad, but that is a full 20%. One would think that the school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no! What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready?
I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not.
I believe that this school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case the Cold War turns hot, they will have superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of the feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the buildup of a military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war.
This is the best character ever.
I told you. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They're so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when
Kenji's voice trails off.
all the haggis will be over. Oh, this is why you can't trust them. They will string you along and then kill you, just as they killed me. You will end up just like me.
Oh, hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out.
Hey, what the hell does that mean?
You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of.
Yeah, so? You're not supposed to say something like that. Damn, so rude. No, where was I? Oh yeah, vast feminist conspiracy.
Stop it. I lost you way back there somewhere. Somewhere around feminist infiltration.
Yeah, too hard to follow? It's cool, I have some grass and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets?
No puppets.
You don't like puppets? Okay, grass is still cool though, right?
He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange. I had him pegged as relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong.
Yeah, something on your mind, dude?
Just thinking about what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset.
You mean that's you? You can't be. This can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That is my dream. You can't steal a man's dream. What the hell? Wait, what the hell? There can't be two last sane men. That would invalidate the whole last part. And the part is kind of important. There can only be one. Like that Byrne movie where there could be only one, and in the end there was only one dude left, because that was the point.
I've never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing.
Yeah, anyway, if you wait here, I can get my grass. I also have a list of the other dark and complex conspiracies that this school holds. As tangled as... quick, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal.
I'm going to go to bed now. It's extremely late. That doesn't... Oh.
No, that doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later.
He claps me on the back and then vanishes in the room so quickly and quietly, it's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost.
A ghost!
I swear to God, if everything winds up being a ghost, I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened.
Ghost of haggis!
So I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. Take some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. This school is like some sort of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony. One would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as I expected, though. This place really is more of a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I open one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all.
Crawling in my skin.
Katawa Shoujo.
We're done?
It's not over yet. It's time to get serious.
Lord.
Halftime show?
Oh god, no. Next was Emmy, you, and then it's Emmy.
I feel very tired this morning, probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I start doing the work as instructed from the board. It already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now, though. Shizune and Misha might jump at me trying to get an answer about whether or not I decided to join the student council, even if it's just one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try, and I don't have an answer for them if they do, so the situation is convenient for me. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in, takes a seat. Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateness!
Oh my god! Yeah,
He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break us into group.
Oh my god!
I can't speak anymore. I burn my head and see that Shizune and Misha are looking at me.
I burn my head.
Shizune gives me a smile that is equal parts cute and menacing. This smile says, "We have you now. There is no escape."
Oh wait. Hey, John. It looks like we're together again. Yay!
Wow!
He's growing.
Let me see for a minute.
Misha learns sideways.
Shrinkadink!
Pushes her
Dead
deck.
water.
Her desk goes for mine. There really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. Jumping out the window isn't the best option.
Mr. Batman!
Go on and jump.
Wait, no, I'm blind!
What's wrong, hey, John?
Ho ho ho!
Hey, John. Have you been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said that you would think about joining the student council. Didn't you? It's okay. Hey, John. We were talking about it after you left. You didn't expect you to already have an answer for us this early, right?
I'm so happy you two are able to have a laugh at my expense, and even more pleased to know you both how crazy the two of you can be. Now that that's over, Shizune snaps back into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at this stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there are only two problems. I also want to say something about how her rush to get started seems a bit much, considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't seem to matter as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, let my eyes wander around the room and catch Hanako trying her hand at solving the problems. It looks like she's working alone. I can remember seeing her working with other... Oh, I cannot remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there.
Huh? Who, hey, John?
It's a ghost!
Hanako. Oh, there. Does she always work alone?
I think so, hey, John. Do you mean to say Hanako?
Perhaps. I was just thinking that maybe she could work with us or something.
No. I don't think that would be a good idea, John.
Fuck you!
Why not?
Shin-chan wouldn't get along with her.
Why? Misha shuffles around the question, letting out a laugh that seems very strange. It's nervous, but still has lifting up and down quality present in everything she says.
Just because, hey, John.
By now, Shizune has noticed our conversation, and it makes me realize again how Misha has been signing everything she has been saying this whole time.
What, Shin-chan? The friend of my enemy is my enemy? That sounds so harsh. I'm not going to say that.
You said it anyway.
Fuck!
Fuck you!
I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand things Shizune is saying, and vice versa. This is also why she signals all the time, so there's never a conversation Shizune was left out of.
Anyway, we should start on the timers now. Hey, John.
We finished with time to spare, and I decided to ask if there are any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly, the food so far has been subpar. This sent Shizune and Misha arguing among themselves about their favorite restaurants. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go all the way down there. And what about the bill? Are they arguing just for the fun of it? Maybe. They seem so distracted that they don't even notice the start of the actual lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break, socializing, gossiping, rearranging desks. But with actual box lunches mixed in and chattering like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. When I watch Hanako, it feels that I'm the only one who can see her, almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class of her own accord? I see her look on her shoulder.
Blind the hedgehog.
Oh, odd. Come to think about it, she hasn't turned a page since I've started watching her. I guess she's waiting for someone. I do what I always do, and I don't know what to do. Like now.
I guess!
I've already started on one of the books I borrowed yesterday and took it with me to school to fill the empty moments between classes. I find the page that I creased the corner off to mark the spot I left yesterday night and pick up from there. Misha and Shizune are still arguing heatedly, probably about restaurants still. If I join them, I just get caught up in that, or worse, get grilled about joining the student council.
Grilled about the haggis.
Misha Misha isn't speaking since there's nobody who need to hear what they are talking about. But why does he tend to sign things even when Shizune doesn't need to understand what's being said? Or even more strangely, when Shizune is not around at all? What an odd conflict of habits. I find it hard to focus on the book, and besides, that lunch break beckons me to leave the dullness of the classroom. I do so, heading down to the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune, having come to a conclusion of one kind or another, follow in my wake, though still talking in their animated fashion. That painting. Just around the corner of the hallway, someone hits me in the chest with the force of a runaway train.
C3 production.
Ow.
Ouch!
Oh. Alright, where's, Emmy?
Please do your doctor voice. That was fucking hilarious.
No, you gotta do it different.
Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me.
She's an alien!
Oh.
They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and has now fallen down to the hallway floor.
The perp!
She wears a PE uniform and is very worried.
P!
The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on a lunch break. More striking that, though, is she doesn't have legs.
She's so metal.
Oh, so dumb. Or she does, but they are not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs, and then the shins and feet made of some black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost
because
makes
they
my
are!
chest is hurting.
Why does Judy love this character so much?
I don't know.
The girl winces a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up.
Oh, man. Hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that. Really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry.
She's looking really apologetic. And her puppy way of looking
Puppy
apologetic.
dogs and kittens!
I quickly forget about being angry or anything,
haggis.
since herd puppies are my weak spot. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Ouch. Oh, I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest. And I know this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself. Don't forget your medication, and most of all, why isn't she wearing pants?
Wearing a PE uniform.
I try to rub my solar plexus.
Solar plex.
Is it a body part? Whatever. Chase the pain away.
Ryu
Holding
has
my
the
breath
solar
in an
plexus
attempt-
strike.
Holding my breath in an attempt
That's
to get my
forward
heart
fierce.
You're dying.
It seems normal.
It's Gigas!
Hey. Oh, what? Fuck.
Hey, should I get a nurse?
The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded. That's why I realized that I probably looked worse off than I really was. Doubled over myself and looking all tense. Damn. I'm overly worried about my heart. Yeah, no need, I'm fine. Imagining to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time, and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind at me. Big time. But it's something more than that.
You sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard.
It's okay. I said I was fine, and nothing's broken. No harm done.
Except my heart.
That's good. I was...
Haggis. Haggis.
Haggis. Eep!
I don't have time to look behind me because Shizune is already shoving me aside and stomping over to the girl, signing furiously at her.
Missy Barazaki, I saw that. Running in the hollow.
Misha translates right on Shizune's tail, but her voice is girlishly playful, not full of the divine fury Shizune's arm movements would seem to call for.
Sorry. I was just gonna get some stuff, and I was kind of in a hurry.
You've been told this 1,000 times before. Your reckless behavior endangers the other students, and even worse, it's explicitly against the school regulations.
The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I find myself
Aroused!
I know that. I was just...
Make sure that this will not happen again. Although I'm sure telling you this is futile, only causes me further headaches when you choose to ignore the regulations. Got that, Emmy?
The small girl sticks her tongue out in response.
I gotta go! Teacher, I have my head, and I promise to help with the printouts. I've been running out and said sorry. I gotta change and everything.
Before Misha, Shizune, or I can say anything, She's already bolted from where she was a second ago, almost halfway towards the stairwell. Shizune looks like she's about to go nuclear on the spot, so I smile at her in a vain attempt to calm her down.
I'm a volcano!
Are you okay, Hichan? Natty Barazaki girl is always like that, causing trouble to others.
You know, I'm pretty certain Shizune wouldn't call me Hichan.
Fuck you!
He-Man!
Yeah, anyway, I'm alright. Just got the wind knocked out of me.
That's great, Hichan.
I wouldn't call that great, but I let it slide this one time.
We have to run now. There's an important student council meeting regarding the festival, and we finally decided where to eat.
Rule.
Oh, Charizard, did you miss the whole Scottish thing?
Oh yeah, dude, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm the Scottish one. I'm voicing Lily,
It's Byrne.
the blind hoe. Rudy, go.
Oh, too bad he can't join, but this lunch meeting is only for council members. Oh, fuck, I'm looking at everything. Text. Hit next. Wahahaha.
The girls leave for downstairs. I didn't manage to get far from the third floor hallway before all this commotion struck. Literally, I should get going as well.
Isn't the fight between Scotsman and Deaf
The
next?
lunch in the afternoon class passed uneventfully. I read most of the book I had just started yesterday and eat some of the mostly inedible haggis at the cafeteria. The class is tiresome. The teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre, as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital, I have 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone to teach. In that house, Ruto is using the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow.
What is it, Naga?
That guy.
I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing.
I could be
You know what I do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he's holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine.
Let's give up. Okay, let's get this.
You have no plans?
Oh, my bad.
No, I consider joining a club, but don't know what kind of club would interest me.
Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Is that pizza?
Might pique your interest.
I guess. I don't know how to continue from there. Rutal looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a
Just pronounce his name Muay Thai. I think that'd be
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I have to be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absentmindedly, looking very unresponsive.
These things are only an issue if you make them. You can talk only with someone, even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind, superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kind.
A normal kind.
A normal gun.
Burn Descender.
He says the same thing as Yuuko does. I know they're right. It's hard. I can't even not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness. The only way to communicate with her is to talk to Misha.
Way to go, asshat.
Or Hanako. Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her pain.
Hanako.
But
Hey,
I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open.
teacher!
Misha crashes in, hands straightened and enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts toward the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm.
Muay Thai, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general slumps in his chair. Goddamn this pink hair.
You Asperger bitch, get out!
Asperger.
Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but has no idea what.
I ain't never gonna shut up.
We have talked about volume control, bitch.
Yeah!
But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes.
So why the fuck you keep talking?
We need help. We are running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress.
She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around.
I don't give a fuck about your supplies for the art room.
Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little. But that time we just took it all. And with that, now there's like none left there. So, do you know where there is some?
What are you talking about?
Shin-chan, I mean, the person that thought that a teacher would know if there's plywood, was she wrong?
Muay Thai.
Tao,
Hey,
look as a great pain.
Cat.
Frowning in
Wait,
his
what the
entire
fuck?
You see why the cat
essence.
sucks?
Ah!
What happened?
Toilet paper!
Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. Like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open with her hair.
I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where you can shove it up your anus.
Oh, what should I do?
Oh, there's some anal lube in the back. You don't have to pray for forgiveness, just let it go.
I don't have time to pay. We're so busy.
She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as
Yes,
possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair.
I shouldn't even be touching these things. There's so much to do and we are falling behind the schedule.
Mutao looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he just didn't.
I wonder if you could get some temporary help.
He switches to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression as if
My
trying
name's
to say,
Byrne, ladies and gentlemen.
go make
Drink
some
so
friends.
much coke, Dustin.
Fuck off and die in a fire.
Yeah, I guess I can give you a hand.
You can? Thanks, Ichan. You're really nice.
She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping,
Ah!
and looking very puzzled.
Come to think of it, what's Ichan doing here? That server, get your ass up there!
The fuck you say?
Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Ichan?
Nah,
Is Ichan in trouble, Peter?
Oh man, is he getting spanking?
Mutao sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need?
Here's a list. I can try to find a plywood somewhere if there's none in the bedroom.
She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you. This has no implications whether I'm joining the council or not.
Aww. Still, thanks, Ichan. Very quick. We are installed going strict now. We must hurry.
She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement.
This bitch crazy.
Well, there you have it, Nakawa Jawan. You have something to do now.
There you have it, Han Solo.
Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's. I have a sigh. I heave a sigh.
Heap sigh.
I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classroom closest to ours are designated belonging to classes 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left side. Each door
I
is
trade
exactly the
fine
same.
goods for soul.
Further down the corridor, and still with identical doors, the rooms that I didn't think we were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom,
Who is it?
but it seems radically kept or not in use. Am I in the right place?
It's an armless bitch.
Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them.
Dustin has
There
a
are some
lot of farts.
easels in the...
Yeah, I have, like everybody.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
It's cool. You can be bored of this one.
Specks of dust
That's
are
my own
dancing
shit.
in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost found. Jokingly, I call an empty room. Anybody ho, something catches my eye, and I stop mid-sentence. What the fuck, she eating paint? No, that's not a brush. Standing on a desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform, with a fork between her toes, a morsel of fruit stuck firmly on the end.
Just pretend you're Columbo.
This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me back most. What? How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner, very still, but I still somehow took her as part of the furnishing or statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring with her huge eyes like a rabid in headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. The girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly for chewing. This is a bit awkward. So, hello. I was told to pick up supplies from here for some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there would be someone here.
There isn't. That's why I came here too.
She picks up another forkful. Doesn't it mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was expecting my observation was false.
You are pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you?
This girl's pretty straightforward, isn't she? I am Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday.
I'm Red. Bazooka Red. Red Bazooka. I won't shake hands with you. But at least we know who you are. We are. It's very nice.
Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel... Wait, what? Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. While I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at the food. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. You need to get your stuff. The supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day. Was I just reading everything?
Yes, you were. What word would you use then? There is no word for a meal you eat after lunch before dinner, right? I found it to be very much too. I don't really know what I should say.
I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with.
But I'm hungry now, and my delicious box lunch will go to waste otherwise. I have curry, it's very delicious.
With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes and with at least as much impoliteness, but she points it straight at me.
So Nakai will bring me to this place.
Like I said, I was told to look for these things.
No, the school. From outside you look fine. We'll just a problem inside.
I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out. I
can guess. I'm good at guessing. Better than most people.
Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done.
Coulda, woulda.
I rose in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is a part of the social code here, as the teacher said.
What is her haggis?
I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition should be, with an overtly contemplative look in her face.
Okay.
She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side.
Don't think it's anything in your head. And something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. The problem must be in your pants.
Pants. Erectile dysfunction.
This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think it might have reeled back even physically, as Rin's eyes widened in revelation and astonishment.
So I was right. There is something wrong with your tackle, isn't there?
Still partially in shock, but recognize the need to reply something. I spit out the first thing I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. I already did.
No rhythm!
I said it. No, I blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and lowers at me. Very disappointed.
That boy, until when the pants would have been much more scandalous.
What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to lay down.
I forgive you. Just, I collect people. And a person with, that kind of problem would have been really great.
Collect people?
People with different problems.
So you just go around asking people what's wrong with them?
Pretty much.
Uh-huh. With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch, and the conversation dies away. But I keep thinking about what was said. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it
Gonna
already,
have a vote.
or heard about it from someone else, or didn't need to know about it, like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of introduction? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart.
Well, like, I
Is that how I'm
guess.
supposed to ground introduce myself from now on? As if our disabilities define us? What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Suzuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things.
What?
I guess.
As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens the study room for the corner of my eye. Her hair is a burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms.
Auburn.
The boy's uniform,
Byrne,
the
very-
makes her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty except for her murky green eyes, which
That's just
flicker
so ugly.
directly from Lord Magazine when she eats. Their distance
That's
and
just
the shadows
haggis over
inside
her.
don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead all of it within the deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. Pretty impressive. However, I can see how this is psyched.
Don't
with
forget the
discomfort
haggis,
people,
super.
especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the world
Haggis.
unnatural.
Stop
But
saying
it's too late
haggis.
now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins and shelves for Misha's things,
Smack you.
but after enough
Haggis.
time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So, do you always eat alone in this late, or do you get the occasional visitor?
Visitors. Maybe you are my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the room. She's not horsing around.
Horse cock.
Horsing?
She likes new sports.
More like horses.
And that's all I can think of to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin works the last bit of her meal into her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood.
Except haggis.
Yeah, so I have all the things now. That's very nice of you. Oh, fuck.
It's very nice for you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway.
Obliged.
You just do whatever you're going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Perhaps you like
I
to
kind
watch
of
girls sleep.
like zoned out. Yeah,
Not enough haggis in her diet,
I'm
boy.
not sure what to make this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I'll catch you around, Suzuki.
Tezuka. You can call me armless.
Feel that our relationship is at this point good enough to warrant
Some armless. Give me
Is
a
she
hand.
Is she cross-eyed? I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine then, I'm Hisao.
Hisao.
and you are.
I'm Kazoo.
Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times, and I can't
Old
figure
one
out
is
why
smoke
it falls
weed
like
every
Christmas
day.
Yes, out of nowhere.
You live so.
There's something like a tiny smile there in her face. Maybe. I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whisper to myself, "What an intriguing person."
Intricating.
From inside, I hear a muffled, sing-song voice.
I heard that.
Ah!
Oh, it's you again.
Rudy.
And then what did she hear?
Say all of her lines in Spanish.
I jump at the sudden
Fucking
appearance of
Spanish.
Misha, who I had not have heard approaching
Te
despite the
hablamos.
pleasing. Somehow, she had gone to
Te
jump against me
hablamos.
without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about a global feminist conspiracy, but I put that thought aside.
Josh,
Shizune,
he's on Spanish.
standing slightly beside Misha, looks aloof as she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited.
No, wait, more importantly, who was in there? There's no club meetings today.
She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway. What are you doing here?
It took so long that we had to come check it out. That's no good, Hee-chan.
She wags her finger at me, scoldingly.
I found plywood.
Oh, sorry, I got the things here. I was just about to go in and bring them.
I think you were up to some mischief, Hee-chan. Who was in there with you, I wonder?
Misha signs something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Shizune immediately pushes away past the door to the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she's experiencing. With Shizume's diligence and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear.
Bears.
And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place, apart from the sight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders from suppressed rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sign furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness.
My TARDIS.
Hello.
Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eye blinks to realize that I might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face.
Hello.
¿Por qué vámonos de escuela?
Why don't we go to school? Miss Tezuka, what do you think you're doing? You haven't got anything useful for such space for activity. Why do you think we go to school?
Sure is suddenly very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular.
It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune's and Misha's scoldings, so I have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs.
¿Dónde está el pollo?
Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore.
El mono es verde.
Anyway, how is your project going? Want to be done for the festival?
Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure that Shizune's cold stare is putting on her.
I keep wondering about that myself, too.
Achtung.
Fuck you!
We'll think about it harder.
As Misha signs a reply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown.
What in your car?
Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the world looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it.
Rin nods assertively.
We'll think more seriously.
Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune not even after translation. She just shakes her head and takes the materials from me and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns softly as she looks after
The painting is bother.
Rude.
It's true, though. I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't.
That will be the dirge of Cerberus.
The world as we know it. Like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to a unforeseen future.
I'm about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art classroom.
Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand?
Somebody put the dog on him.
This paint can doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it.
Why don't you pick it up?
She kicks lightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Yeah, sure. Where do you need to take it?
Away.
Kawaii.
And with that, she takes off to the hallway, me and the paint can following, since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now, Shizune and Misha gone, so we have to leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Are we finishing this game? Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my brain. At least I can keep my arms. Strolls on sizes an uneven pace that I have trouble matching. Or maybe I'm walking weird because of that extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't remember the voice. Mr. Naki, what a happy coincidence. Does it go do, of course?
Basically it. He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with.
There's only ever got to mend it on one day.
I nod and wait impassively because I begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper in my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either.
It's about your medication. Depending on the long and your current medications, there might be unexpected side effects, which might require adjustment dosages or even changing to another kind of medication. So we'll do a few tests regularly, but what I want for you to keep an eye on everything your condition that feels off. So get ready. Nausea, headaches, anything, and come see me if something happens. So how are you feeling? Everything fine?
I give up the job in the can before glancing at apparently it takes longer than my biceps. I'm about to say something generic as an answer, and then I realize how often I've done that. Other people have asked that too, teachers and students here, my parents, visitors, nurses, doctors, in the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital not to touch with school, except for this school. This is a small school, and both the student base and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least it's the feeling I'm getting. This is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thoughts and shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway.
That's great. Also, one other thing. My son has told me that you've been taking pictures at neither the school track or the pool. So I'd like to know if you're taking exercise as I asked.
Of course I haven't, but this way of implying it, that I should have been running my ass off the track since it's the first day. Do you have people spying on me?
Not as such. I just happen to know a few people. But that's not the issue here, so don't try to survive it.
Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down on my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second and comes back like it was never gone.
Suzuka, would you give us a second?
The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside.
When I said to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you're still in the first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down on this hard is the habits are not easy to form. The more you slip or postpone, the harder it is, and it'll be the same with everything like dieting. Can you promise me you'll be more serious from now on?
One or two.
What are we gonna promise?
I don't want to promise anything.
Maybe.
What are we gonna promise?
I say two.
Yes.
Yes. Be mirthful and a messiah.
I'm gonna wait for one more answer.
One more cancer.
There are
One
20
more-
people watching.
One more cancer.
Oh, damn it.
Oh my god, Miles Sykes, you tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
Tie maker.
So yes or not?
It's
Hey, let's say hi to Fox. Hi, Fox!
What is Fox up to these days?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, I promise, definitely.
How long is this thing?
This is forever.
Forever.
Yeah. We'll probably stop soon.
It was like a 5-hour thing.
Dude, this
No,
thing
probably
is
more.
forever.
It's like maybe 5 hours per out. And then 5
5
shit.
I want to at least get to Kenji's next thing, which is pretty soon, and then we'll stop.
Damn, that comes out.
Oh, this is awesome.
If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to join with it.
Consultation.
See you around.
She's a psychic.
He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them. Are you getting medication? Oh, shit.
Are you getting medications for your heart thing?
Your
Were you listening?
A hot thingy.
It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality, too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But that's not Rin's fault, is it? I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin is just staring past my shoulder quizzically. Her head tilted like a bird's.
Quizzically.
Sigh.
And
I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there's some inexplicable lock that prevents me from being upfront about this. Yeah, they're from my heart.
Will they make you better?
No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further, nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building and read Liz as I walk towards his dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm's building. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground, with a wall and a few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or go. It's probably the only inconvenient design in the school. The entire wall, made of the same kind of bricks as the building itself, has been covered with some sort of a painting. Most of it is still mere sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against a gray plastering that covers almost the entire length of the wall, but some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seem to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside the wall.
See, the left side is hardly off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get food yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. I have to work on it, but the guys from our class are helping with the negative spaces and base surfaces, whatever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands. If the reach is better, it's faster too.
She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm, or whatever that there actually is, demonstrating even though I got the point already. The whole corner of sleeve flips around and it makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student base's special properties has in the past few days. Little doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already and just keeps on blabbering.
So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out, and then figure that out before it's too late and all hope is lost.
Why would the hope be lost?
This paint has to be painted, and then it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time.
She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So this is your project? You did this?
Yes.
All of it?
Yes.
All of it.
Nice, but I
Nice
stumbled
butt.
my words, suddenly feeling like I'm walked straight into a minefield of political incorrectness.
It's okay, you can say it. I probably won't get mad.
I blush really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels like I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward.
Do you want to ask?
How do you paint without hands?
See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet.
I talk with my feet.
I almost guessed it already, but isn't that hard to do?
You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe because I'm used to it by now.
I can't get my hand around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us said anything more to add to the subject.
The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat. But it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat?
Well, paintings tend to be flat.
Not like that flat. You know, flat. Like some people are. No substance, no meat, where there should be some.
Alright, I get it, but I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name any artists or artistic terms. So I don't really have anything to say. Wrench on your shoulders of saying that to yourself without saying it and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there.
I didn't think I'd get any actual work done. If you give me a hand with the paints, I can do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp like the ones they have at the sports tracks, but there aren't any.
Ranger is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I need any help, though.
It's just mixing some paints. You can do that, probably. Do you have motor control problems like, you know, those people?
I'm sorry.
Cerebral palsy, maybe?
Not that I know of.
I get it. Heart thing has nothing to do with that.
She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't.
Let's do it then.
So she sits on an empty wooden box, very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents in shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paints flow lazily from the can to the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue. Rin sticks to work every now and then and asks me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone the girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal.
Cyan, it's like you did more today than you have in the rest of your life.
What?
Probably.
Sorry? She wants precision down on the last milliliter before she's satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best. And half a splash of... Oh, fuck.
And half a splash of green.
I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green.
The other green. This green.
I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl.
No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good color to add?
No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of smile appears in the corners of her mouth.
Do you lack an opinion?
No, it's just that I have no idea.
It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white.
With this explanation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly lighter.
That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up. You know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream and you can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow.
Despite the impossibility of mixing color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense supposed to be, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Can painting being born on the plaster walls feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints, crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence...
Taking my wallet and showing me my 18-year-old picture.
Yes.
That's terrible.
I'll show you mine if I could.
Steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a pastel mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixing, neither of us say a word for the longest time. And those short discussions soon evolve into a shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu. There was some need.
I am the Hulk.
This is Ant here. The dog and the soda cup bottle.
We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly.
We're almost done.
Yeah, so
We have to run and then Kenji and then we can stop.
okay.
Oh god.
I mean, just to call for you one more time.
The sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses for why I already have it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here all day. School's surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the girls are shocked it's not fair.
Wicked fancy. Where's that one in time?
He's
Oh, here and there. I need that.
it's kind of nice to jump in and flip on black and white.
Have a guess.
Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they are going to let me get away that easily. And the nurses are going to keep breathing down my neck over the entire flex. So eventually I do rise up, slowing the morning medications to put on my own.
I am. Shut up.
After all, I'm going to start taking care of myself. I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. Basics include keeping the rest of my body in shape and with little I can to strengthen my heart.
That's a golden field.
I'm surprised to discover they're not the only person at the track.
These are crisp.
It's that, with his face I've seen before. The prosthetic leg girl who pulled me over in the hallway yesterday. He's running on the track. But, yeah. Learning again is a short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps with constant easy little prosthetic legs.
Is that how you're gonna go tomorrow?
skip.
Damn it! That's because we're paying attention.
I'm watching
The fact that I'd be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts at shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems that my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me, cheerfully jogs over.
Jogging in
Lord.
addition.
Oh, excuse me, dog.
Good morning.
Yeah, double fancy.
Your name is Hisao, right?
She grinned, seemingly pleased as she remembered my name.
You may now remember me.
I am the 1%.
I knocked you over in the hoist
He's
there,
1%.
Miss Eberazaki.
There can be only one.
She imitates Misha, imitating Shizune, generally gets to think how can I forget her simple introduction?
There can be only one.
You look terrified.
May it be Duncan McLeod.
You guys can't see it, but Byrne
I mean, he has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a
nice
moment
vest, a
before
wooden
giggling.
tie, 2 hats, and holding a horse and a cat.
Yeah, sorry about that again.
They gonna see this.
Oh, well, so long you don't make a habit, I suppose it'll be fine.
Wait, I need my sunglasses. Shit. Give me the sunglasses, then we'll be perfect.
So the spy consultant nurse is actually you?
Action, dude.
That's right.
Oh, I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest.
Let us begin.
What are you saying? I don't look like to be a spy? No, it's more like relief. I was afraid it was something you to do or that. No.
No, for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me.
Just ask
So
me.
why are you down here?
That's not
Such a dramatic pose. Training? For what?
Track.
Oh, I see. You're on the track team then. I mean, not enthusiastically.
Yep, I'm one of the better runners too.
You're modest about it too.
Hey, you should join up. A good exercise, you know?
I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. No, I'm not even sure I really like running that much. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know?
It's true.
It's true. I never even really got that much into soccer. I mean, I really run with friends at all, but that's really the only reason I ever played. I was related from the field, that's for sure. That means he needs to understand my meaning.
I mean, I was able to fix it a little bit with this hand.
Well, you're not here. I guess we're going to run together, huh?
Well, sure, I guess. Easy, please. You're gonna warm up.
You gonna warm up?
Real men don't warm up.
Oh, you know we should warm up. That is how.
Oh god, she scolds enthusiastically and smiles and leans closer.
I hate when 102.
She laughs suddenly.
Heck, and I don't even have to stretch my legs. Oh.
That's what?
I have to confirm
She's
it
like
so
this.
she bounces up and, you know, go like, let's go.
Run fast, Hisao.
So we both take her on the track. I can immediately see that she was lying around good and running.
Why is he suddenly a photo shoot?
Back like 2 steps.
Aiming with smoothly, throwing herself to run.
And something
Try
to
to
match
match
my
them.
stride, Emmy's difficult. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple of laps a day and slow to walk. Oh my god. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time.
Science time.
She quickly skids to a
really
halt,
tired.
breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat Emmy.
Finished already?
Yep, I'm done.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah. I'm not in very good shape right now.
Emmy nods and then begins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling.
Well, the important thing is that you started right. Next time you just have to hold out longer, and then longer, and then longer, and eventually you'll be great.
I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm gonna go right ready for class. Shouldn't you?
Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. I notice that she's not wearing a pants.
Are you sure?
Another careless shrug.
Thing like that.
Not really, but I finished my routine. See you later, Hisao.
See ya.
Like you're gonna
I'm
get
not
some
sure
of
whether this morning's experiment was a success or a failure, but
my
I'll
God,
admit
Rudy.
that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this
What's
morning.
that?
And like Emmy said, I just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice at least to feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own health. I'll have to try to keep this up. I head back to take a shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind. But I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school
It's
before the
almost me.
morning
It's
rush.
almost me.
Yep.
Oh, wait, here it comes.
Taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself
take
off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes.
Excuse me.
Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming
It's a
and hissing with malicious
ghost!
intent. It bursts through the fog.
Stop.
What are you doing here? What the hell? You scared me. What's your problem?
Yeah, I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man.
What do you mean all over the place?
I want to ask if you've been looking for me like that, just half naked. Pull my
There's
tongue
that
out.
word again!
I finally realized I'm still naked too.
Oh god, it's
I
everywhere!
hold up my shirt in front of me, but Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad that it's like he's perpetually seeing through the fog?
You know, your room and... Yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up, though. Whatever, it's not important. Now borrow some money.
He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look casual.
Casual!
Quick, he's transparent, has his window pane sized glasses. Talking neutrally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked. To say nothing about he's naked as well. I try to brush the feeling off.
Naked! Money? Sure.
Yeah, awesome.
Wait, why do you need it?
Can't you just give me it because I had the goodwill not to run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't that the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal.
This makes no sense.
This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment. Since his thoughts were so clearly impure, his intentions are patently even more sinister since he can't tell what they are. I say as much to him.
Yeah, I'm offended, man, but if that's your game, then fine. I guess I have no choice. I went to order a pizza, and I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I just need your money.
I had some of that pizza too, right?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat pizza.
What about you?
I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy, and then eat it. It's not easy. You have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you and the pizza, and they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before. That's how I know. Every day I plan my vengeance, so that when the people who wronged me order a pizza, I will be there, ever vigilant.
Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without ironing.
But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza. It's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened last time I went out without carefully planning in advance. I was outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something. Standing. Maybe wondering how I got there. And then, out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning splitting the sky, like how you split a sandwich in 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable and skip the text. It was the second most shocking moment of my life.
What was the first? Cyan said. He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that. He was more likely to hear me.
It's like in the opening of some kind of anime show, you know, where there's always a part where the main dude is fighting their rival, and they fly at each other and clash swords, and it's like this big, dramatic, colored auras and zoom. It was like that, but with poo.
Okay.
So yeah, I need some money. Please, don't leave me hanging, man. I only need like 1,000 yen.
I thought it was 400.
Okay.
What?
I'll pay you back, I swear.
Better. That's what it means to borrow stuff.
I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back.
You have 1 week.
He winces and makes a noise like a dying cow. I'm particularly disturbing fact given that his pond is fucking feeling. That's a penis.
You're not supposed to be so tight-assed about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know that male porn stars only make about half of what female porn stars make?
Doesn't make anything unless you're a porn star.
So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. And you can't even spot me on your crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody.
Rudy!
Okay. Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place?
This feminist agenda stuff again?
This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit, but it's serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy. Make no mistake. You take them lightly and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. Bam! Out of nowhere.
How do you wake up in the morning and someone stabbed you in your sleep?
Women are terrible at stabbing things.
I thought you just said don't take them lightly.
Well, I mean, don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat. But if there was some kind of war, like a big war, with men on one side and feminist forces on the other side, it'd be pretty ugly. And that day will come when the feminists come out of their central top secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, motherfuckers!"
They're being ridiculous. There's no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where they even hide that? I mean, without being massive, you can hide that under a
Fox.
Someone would notice a big with a woman on it.
You said it was on Earth.
I turn around.
Oh, I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in the mirror so that I can figure out what kind of frown will best express my emotions. He can't see me from the distance anyway. Which unfortunately means that he keeps on ranting without any regard to sense or sensibility.
Yeah, there's a war going on, a war that not many know about, but it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all the known world. Then we will have to pick sides. We will have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it, the bloody battlefield, a vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought the cause was silly. When I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight. When I mistook the time the power went out for a feminist raid and thought the end was near. But then I realized that if I gave up, it'd be all over and I'd be like, whoa. And I knew I had to get serious. Because I am the last sane man in an insane world. It's about duty.
Honestly, you pretty packed me with it. All hinges on one naked guy trying to enter a bathroom and another naked guy.
So can I have the money?
He's blocking the way out. He's getting cold because I'm so naked and I want to go to class. So I need to grab the money.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. We should go bowling later on.
Bowling?
Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are almost no women bowlers either, making it the manliest sport. Should I wear my pink bowling shirt with the matching shoes or the pastel green with flower accents?
There are bowling clothes?
Maybe.
Anyway, you better pay me back.
I can pay you back in stuff, right?
I don't have the time to ask him to elaborate what that means.
Oh no, I have to get to class and you're kind of annoying.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I don't want to hold you up and I have some stuff to do myself. The time has come.
The time for what?
Yeah, I just like saying that. Okay, now time has really come.
For what?
I have to use the bathroom. Get out of here.
It's going to. What does that mean? It's a big bathroom.
So I have to be alone or I can't go. Pressure.
What if someone else comes in?
Yeah, I'll think of something.
I give him my practice fan and it looks kind of similar to his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't see anyway, so I get dressed and run back to my room.
This time I will never get back. I'll get him somehow. And his little dog.
And now we're done.
And we're done. Fuck you.
Good night, shortstop.
video
I
games.
love you.
Yeah, dude, Cyan's dead. He's dead. It's over. Sony's finished.
There's a picture of.
10-10, game of the year.
Z3.
What? What is this? Oh! Whoa!
Spoilers.
Whoa! That was almost 3 hours of me being hilarious.
Byrne and Rudy and Cyan and Kuma and some other asshole and some guy named
Mitchell.
Mike.
Mitchell and Stefan.
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Thanks for watching.
I'm your boss then.
Bye,
And I
friends.
step all over your mop floors.
Yeah, you do. And you know what's going to happen to people who step on my mop floors?
Nothing.
Feminist
You a
agenda
bitch.
will get you.
Best character ever.
He is.
Time.
Whoa!